We're recording. Hello, casual MMA fans, and welcome to the show. This is the UFC 248 show, preview show at least. Coming at you with a new guest this week, Daniel Corrado. What's going on, Dan?
What's going on, casual MMA fans? Thanks for having me on here. Looking forward to my first time with Ryan.
So
unfortunately, we're not here with Sean.
Let's stop real quick. This isn't the first time. Should I tell everybody why?
If you want to share, you want to make yourself look stupid, by all means.
I don't even feel like I look stupid. I just almost cried last week. We actually shot this episode last week with Sean. Sean's missing today. He's working.
Shouts out to Sean.
Yeah, but we had a fantastic podcast last week, and we lost the file. I'm actually, you're going to see me check all the time, like, is this thing still freaking recording? Because for some reason it dropped the recording. Hold on, one check. Okay, it's recording.
We're good.
Yeah. we recorded a fantastic 2.5 hour podcast. We got into it. Dan was pumped. Sean was pumped. I was pumped. And then here we go, after to go edit, and I'm like, where the fuck's the file? Oh, God. I can't find it. I spent hours looking through every file on my computer, every back system, trying to find the damn thing. But either way, we're here. We're going to re-record. Unfortunately, Sean couldn't join us this week, but he will be here. We're going to do a post-show for this one. We haven't done it in a while, but Dan really convinced us to. I'm pretty sure he just wants a reason to come back like as quick as possible. But we're like, hey, you know what? Let's do it. This one's exciting. I think that we're going to have a great event. So I don't see why not. Why not, man? Who doesn't love talking about MMA afterwards?
I do it for the fans.
You're fans that you don't have yet, aren't
Yeah.
But anyways, so let's kind of kick this off, man. Let's go over some of the quick hot topics. I know you wanted to bring up last night's fights, UFC Fight Night. What was the number on that one?
UFC 169.
UFC Fight Night 169. That was. I'll let you kind of take that one away and just kind of touch on that from last night. I haven't got to watch it yet. I was planning on watching the re-recordings today, especially after I saw what the card looked like for the results. So go ahead.
Yeah, 5 fights last night, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. But I think the 2 fights that definitely jump out, first off, is the light heavyweights with Ian Kudabella against Magomed. I don't even know how to pronounce the last name. I'm probably going to fuck it up. But Anikalev. And that fight ended in a devastating 38 seconds. And I think we're going to see some controversy over the next couple of weeks, Ryan. We just watched the fight before kicking off. And I think Ian could have probably kept going.
Yeah.
Ryan called it. He was still throwing some hard rights, but the judge just stopped it. Mm-hmm. And my comment to it was, do we really want to see people have to get their lights put out before a ref stops it? I think it was a terrible call, but thinking it from the aspect of wanting to be more protective of the fighters and their health, we're going to learn as we go. But shouts out to Ian. I hope his next fight, I hope it's another rematch.
I was actually looking forward. Who did he fight last? I'm trying to remember who he fought last. I saw him fight recently. Dude looked impressive. He definitely has an impressive physique, big, strong 185er. But either way, that one was crazy. But man, Benavidez, dude, knocked out in the second round. He just, I was telling you before the podcast started, like when they made the 125-pound division, they made it for him. Like they assumed that he was going to be the guy. And then obviously DJ showed up and said, yeah, that's not happening. But Benavidez has had every opportunity to try and win that belt. Because he's always been in the top 5 since this division was created. But the irony is he came into the division when it was created, and you can argue it was created for him. And now because of that fight last night, it might be the end of the division. Because in honesty, like they're in a flux right now with that title because Figueroa. Sorry.
Figueroa. You gotta have that Spanish tongue.
Figueroa.
There it is.
There it is. Had a little bit of dry mouth there. He came in overweight, man. He came in overweight, so technically he couldn't win the title last night. So that was part of the controversy is Benavidez goes on to lose. So now, again, the title is up in flux, and nobody technically has it at 120.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he came in 2.5 pounds overweight because, you don't get the same...
well, that's upsetting.
It's terrible. I mean, I love the 125 guys. I thought DJ was like one of the most exciting champions they ever had. Dana White pushed him out and traded him in the first ever like full MMA organization.
And for the worst trade ever in history.
Yeah,
let's just say that.
That was for sure. But it's just wild.
Ben
man.
Askren, if for all that you don't know.
Actually, that's fantastic. That launched Masvidal's career, or at least him into the stratosphere. I shouldn't say his career. He's been around forever. But anyways, yeah, that was a crazy night of fights last night, at least from what it looks like on the stats. The Ion Cutabella one as well. That one, super controversial. So that always makes for a good conversation about like when should a ref stop the fight. I definitely don't blame the ref. Like he looked like a caricature. Like he's like wobbling his head around, but he was still throwing overhand rights and he threw a left hook, big looping left hook before the ref stopped it. So it was kind of weird, but I don't know. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, I mean, they called it. I was telling Ryan, probably they were calling it throughout the first 2 rounds. He was throwing leg kicks. He was reaching. He just kept dropping his hands. That headbutt.
Oh, you're going back to the Benavidez
Yeah,
fight.
Where were you at?
I was on that Ion Cutabella.
Oh, sorry about that.
No. Back to the Benavidez one. Go ahead. Talk about that one a little bit.
I think, even in that fight, they were calling it for 2 rounds. He was fighting sloppy. That headbutt threw him off. As soon as he wiped the blood, he just got landed out. And I'm looking at the rankings here. I just don't see really anybody popping out as stars. I mean, I like Brandon Moreno, but he's in the top 5, but I just don't think he has it. And I'm looking through the list here. Ryan, I'm going to have to agree with you. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Well, I mean, it's already been on the edge as it is because they don't think that the little guys can sell. And you could tell going back to even when DJ was the champ, he was never really headline. He never headlined a pay-per-view, I'm pretty sure. That was part of the problem. He never got paid. I mean, because Dana White said the little guys can't sell cards. I mean, this is coming from a champ that picked a guy up and did a flying armbar on somebody as they're coming. That was insane. Picked him up, slammed him into an armbar. But whatever. Hopefully that division will have. But you know what? I blame that on Cejudo too, man. He screwed that division. He went up to 135. To get that champ status.
No, triple champ.
He ain't going to be triple
champ.
Fuck that. He barely beat Marlon Moraes. Moraes was tearing his ass up, and then he just gassed the fuck out.
Yeah.
He ain't moving up. He can't move up.
But Moraes did look good in his last fight against Aldo. His gas tank, he lasted through the round. He lasted through the whole fight.
Dude, thank you for the segue, by the way, because if you watch this show, I'm a big Aldo fan. Like, I love Aldo. He's one of the...
Take me some Aldo.
He's one of my all-time favorite fighters. But how the fuck does he get a title shot after literally losing to Marlon Moraes? Granted, everybody thought that he won that fight, including myself.
Likewise.
But technically, a loss is a loss on paper. So how the hell do you move up and get a fucking title shot? The rankings are so fucking meaningless now. But on the other hand, listening to some people talk online, it's like that brings up a good conversation. Like, does a winning streak necessarily mean that does that mean more than your history, right?
So I think one of the big factors coming into play, and I think great point on touching on it, is I don't think it's a winning streak. I don't think it's anymore, who's up next. I think it's who do the fans want to see fight. And for me, I've somewhat been about that. And I'm even more so now about that. And you even see it in boxing. In the last fight with Deontay Wilder and Fury, they said, we want to do what boxing has never done before. We want to give the fans what they want to see. And we don't want it to be after everybody's fucking hyped about it. And I think maybe UFC is trending in that same fashion. Aldo didn't lose that fight. And it was his first time in it. He looked fucking great. The best he's ever looked.
Great. Everybody was like, he looks so drained. He looks terrible. He looked great at 135.
And you want to know what? I don't think people are really crazy about Cejudo, even though he's been on a fucking tear.
He's so weird.
I don't fucking think people are like, oh, this is the guy I want to see. I think if Aldo can come back,
Agreed.
I think Dana's probably putting his money where his mouth is, and he's like, Aldo will bring back this fucking division.
Well, because that goes all the way back to, did Cejudo really beat DJ in their last fight, too? Especially because we're going to have a conversation in a little bit about controversial fights, about beating a champion, and we'll have that conversation here in a minute, but did he really beat DJ? You know what I mean? Like the long-time reigning 125-pound champ. But anyways, that aside, all those fighting, Amanda Nunes was just announced last night to fight as well. I think they didn't announce who she'd be fighting, and I think that's because they were waiting to see the results from last night. Megan Anderson, or I guess they pronounce it Megan Anderson, and Felicia Spencer were both fighting different fights last night, and they were going to see who won because those are both potential title contenders. Felicia, but they both fucking won. They both fucking won last night, so that'll be interesting to see who's going to end up getting that. I mean, hey, you know what? Fucking feed them both. Just one at a time. Whoever fought first last night, let them fight Amanda first, and then Amanda could just knock them out, and she'll be ready by summer and knock the other one out.
Hey, Bellator still does those tournaments, and some of those tournaments are pretty fucking cool.
Fuck the tournament. She needs people. You need to feed people to the lion, man. She's losing people to fight at this point. Fucking feed her both. They don't need a fucking...
Shevchenko, they're going to have to fight again.
Yeah, oh, they definitely will. Shevchenko already said that that's going to happen again. And then I'm trying to think, is there any other fight announcements that are...
So I copied you on the UFC fight announcements. What I'm looking forward to after the tragedy in the news is I'm looking forward for Harris to come back. I think he's coming back against Overeem, so I think he has a lot to prove. Because I think... towards the end of last year, he was supposed to be fighting Overeem, and I think after that, I think if he had a knockout, I think he was going to go to a top 5 guy or maybe even get a title shot. So I'm excited to see him get back in the ring. I think he's got a lot of fucking fuel coming in there.
That poor guy, man. That poor guy, what he's been through.
But I hope that he doesn't come in clouded. I hope he comes in and he's fucking just precision across the board, because I want to see him.
So for people that don't know, why don't you talk about it a little bit? What happened with it? Just super brief, like if you had to give the 10-second spiel on that one.
Yeah, so I followed it through and through, week over week, because it was devastating, and plus he got a lot of outreach from the UFC community, from all sports across. I believe it was his stepdaughter was actually kidnapped and murdered up in Alabama. She was going to college and stopped to get gas one night, and family never seen her after that. Walt Harris was supposed to fight a couple of weeks after that happened. He had to call off the fight against Overeem, and then I think a couple of weeks after that, I think maybe right after Christmas or maybe before, I'm not sure, he had gotten the news. So I didn't think he was going to come back as soon as he is. I'm excited to see him come back. But I hope it's not. I hope he doesn't come back with a heavy heart. I hope he comes back ready to go, because I was really excited watching him over the past couple fights.
Yeah, the heavyweight division always needs young, good gunners. So it'll be interesting to see him come back. I think everybody will be rooting for him, just because of that situation. So prayers out to him and his family just through that recovery phase now. But anything else? I think that was about it. We really didn't actually have too much. Actually, going back to this, who was it that was lined up to fight that ended up getting moved? That was on this card last week. Because remember,
so we were Oliveira against Mickey Gall, and now he is on the main card for UFC 248 against Max Griffin.
I want to say there was middleweights too that we had. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me look at my notes real quick. Because last week, funny enough, when we did the first version of the podcast, we were actually starting to call that fight, and then you guys were like, you and Sean are like, dude, no, stop. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And you're like, dude, they moved that fight. They announced it this morning. I'm like, what? Let me check that real quick. Come on, baby.
Was it Derek Brunson against Edmund Zabazan?
Yes.
Or something like that? That got canceled and pushed out to April, which I know every fight fan out there was fucking excited to see Edmund overthrow a elite.
Shabazian looks good, dude.
Derek Brunson.
I was looking forward to watching that fucking fight. I was looking forward to that. So I was disappointed. But it's only moving one pay-per-view out, I believe.
No, it's a couple. Oh, yeah, one pay-per-view out, yes, but a couple different, the interim fights as well. But
so that one got moved. But anyways, I'm trying to think some of the other stuff that we talked about. Oh, yeah, actually, you mentioned it earlier, the Wilder and Fury fight. That one was fucking wild. What were your thoughts on that?
back to I think it was a good call on the ref to stop that fight.
Yeah.
I as well as the coaches. Well, actually, no, the coaches threw in the towel. I'm sorry. During the fight, I was confused, thinking that the ref stopped it.
No.
But after the fact, I noticed that his team threw in the towel on him because they just saw him getting beat up. Yep. I was really confused because for 7 rounds, his whole team said not a fucking word to him, and he just looked completely out of it. So I was really taken back that they threw in the towel when there was no coaching, there was no conversation corner. But then this week, a lot of controversy around him saying that the reason he may have lost the fucking fight was because he was wearing 45 pounds of a fucking costume. And then the part that got me so fucked up during the week is Joe Rogan post. I see a Joe Rogan meme where he was on the Joe Rogan Experience saying, "I walk around during my fucking camps with 45 pounds all day just to know that I'm going to always be fighting heavier guys." So full of shit on that one, but
he's, you know what? It's his first loss, like legit straight up loss. So I think he's just having a tough time accepting it, especially the way he lost. I think that eardrum getting busted, that throws off your equilibrium. You can't fight after that, man. Like, if you can't look straight, you don't know where the fuck you're going. You don't have depth perception. That's like the number, like, that's one of the biggest things you need besides reaction time. Actually, your reaction time comes from your depth perception as well. It's all fucked up.
Another upset for you and the fans.
Fury got tore up.
There wasn't actually an eardrum pop.
Oh,
it was just a cut. Sean said it last week.
Yeah.
And it was just a cut in the inner ear. He didn't actually.
Yeah, but that can still throw off your equilibrium, though. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You don't even need to bust your eardrum. If you get clocked in the ear hard enough, that can throw off your equilibrium.
Well, then I get that, but
yeah. Because that's what it really looked like. Because he looked so off. Like, he didn't even look like he knew where he was after he got popped in the ear like that. And I think that's part of the problem. Obviously, that's because of Fury's fantastic fucking shot. And you just crippled the guy, man. That was fucking great. Great way to fucking finish that fight. So, any other comments on that one? Yeah, so actually, you know what? Going back to kind of your introduction, we did last week, and I kind of forgot to do it. I wanted to bring that boxing match up, not just because like it was such a big pay-per-view event, but also because you kind of have that background of watching boxing for your whole life too.
Yeah, my whole life. And I think the argument that we had last week, I wish I could remember every bit of it, but I think what we're starting to see is a lot of change between a lot of different things. People are complaining about how the refs are handling things. We had a lot of conversation and argument around who's owning the fight. Like, owning the octagon or owning the ring gives points and creates wins. And I think we related
that goes to our next discussion.
Go
ahead, lead us in.
That brought us to the Jon Jones-Reyes fight. Not a fucking 4-1, not a 4-1 win, but 3-2.
Yes.
Jon
Sean
Jones
brought up that point. Yeah.
And my argument was he owned the ring for fucking 4 rounds out of 1.
No, he didn't.
And the argument for most is that cannot be something that's called as somebody that has octagon control. That number shouldn't play a factor in what we actually judge.
Yeah. So real quick, this is going to be me standing on my pedestal, losing my shit a little bit, okay? Because, all right, so octagon control, I saw this all week after the Jones and Reyes fight. Everybody's like, oh, well, Jones owned octagon control. Octagon control does not come into flippin' play unless grappling and striking are dead even. And then you have, so before I even go to my next point, Reyes owned at least the first 3 rounds in strikes.
2.
Okay, 3. He owned the first 3 rounds in strikes. But then that goes to, what does octagon control mean? Just because a guy is standing in the middle of the freaking octagon does not mean that he's owning that octagon. If you have, like, Stephen Thompson makes a freaking career out of moving around the octagon and moving around your ass that's standing in the middle and popping you in, out. So octagon control doesn't mean that you're standing there right in the middle and taking shots. You don't win the fucking round. You shouldn't win the fucking round because of that.
No, but you got to take into fact, you got to understand that most people watching UFC now are bandwagon fans, or some are, not most, some are. Most refs that are judging the fights are fucking boxing fights outside of Las Vegas. They're boxing refs. Yeah. And that brings us to the point of us as viewers need to get a better understanding as to what is actually being judged. Judges need to better understand what needs to be considered points, either deduction or giving a point. But for me, I just felt like because of where we're at in an early stage of really understanding that these things need to be fixed, John Jones won that fight. And as a boxing fucking fan, I see it as Jones winning the fight. And even for the 4-1, as a boxing fan, I can understand it. Do I agree with it? No. But I understand it. When you have somebody moving on their back feet, when you have somebody not moving forward in their typical fashion, you're not fighting your fight. You're fighting the other fighter's fight. And that's what octagon or ring control is considered.
It's not boxing. I don't care if they have boxing backgrounds.
The judges are not UFC judges.
But that's the problem, though. If they're not MMA judges, then that's the whole point of the argument is if you don't know MMA, get the fuck out. They are too like I have full respect for boxing. I like boxing. I love MMA. They are two completely different sports. You want to know why? Striking is completely different. Your range is completely different. You're not going to throw if you look at the average punches thrown in MMA, it's a lot lower than it is in boxing for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
For a fucking reason. That goes to a number of factors that come into play. Smaller gloves, kicks, takedown, grappling, all that shit. That all comes into play. But that's like one of the most basic things that they should be focusing on is octagon control. And if they don't fucking know what that means, then they need to get more people that do. There is plenty of MMA fighters that are retired from the golden age of MMA that I'm sure would be glad to be judges and get paid some motherfucking money because they didn't get paid any motherfucking money.
So
going back to
the
UFC pissing off a lot of fighters. I read that article today because they're paying out $300 million in dividends, okay, to celebrity UFC owners. And the fighters are like, what the fuck is going on with that? These guys are getting paid most of these guys on every card are getting paid under $100,000. They get maybe 2, maybe 3 fights a year. And if they lose, they don't get their pay double because essentially the way it works is you get a flat rate for showing up. And then if you win, you get double your pay. Obviously, that's for the lower level fights. So,
and if you get fight of the night, you get a little bit more.
Yeah, but I mean,
performance.
But if you're going against like 10, 15 other fights, I mean, that's tough. You have a 1 in 10, 15 shot to get a fight of the night performance.
Well, let's just say that.
And then you get taxed. Can you imagine how much you get taxed on that? But anyways, that's besides. On where you're at. Yeah, that's besides the point. I know
you're in New York, you're walking home with fucking pennies.
I know. I just got my end of year bonus from work, and I got taxed 40% on that. So can you imagine? Can you imagine what 40% of $75,000 for a bonus is?
It's not fun. That's why some boxers
and then pay
like
your
Pacquiao
management
wants to fight. I mean, let's not go too far off the beaten path, but that's why Pacquiao pretty much always wants to fight overseas. He saves so much fucking money fighting overseas. In the States, you get... Think about it. You get taxed here, then you go back to your home country, you got to get taxed over there. So it's just a fucking nightmare. A lot of things need to be fixed.
Yeah.
The judging...
But that's besides the point. The whole thing I had was octagon control was bullshit. And then that goes back to that whole, oh, well, you got to beat the champ to...
that was another big fucking argument.
Fuck that shit.
I am 100% a support of that. If
DJ didn't get that. DJ didn't get that going back to Cejudo because that was a close fight either way that
it was a close fight, but Dana wanted him to fuck out.
Yeah,
somebody got some money under the table.
I just wanted somebody to call that out because that's exactly what that was.
There was money under the table on that one, but honestly, at the end of the day, I firmly believe in that as a history in knowing boxing. If you're going to walk into that fucking ring and you want that belt, you need to bring it. And at the end of the day, the last 2 rounds, almost every fucking fighter that has been in the UFC for a long time had said that Reyes gave up the championship rounds.
He didn't give it up.
He did.
He was just gassed.
Oh, well, that's his own fucking fault.
I'm just saying.
He should have came how he came in the first round, in the fucking 4th and the 5th round, and he didn't. And Jones put
okay, but in that same breath, you could also say Jones should have came out in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounds as he did in the 4th and 5th round.
Was gonna he knew Reyes was gonna gas himself, and he played it perfect. He fucking peppered him every round. He got his takedowns in. He fought a perfect fight.
It's the same thing as when Gus and Jones were done fighting. Jones looked like he had been in a fight. Gus looks like he just went for a marathon. Or like
but he lost
looked
the
like
championship rounds.
Oh, God. Jones is gonna fucking lose one of these.
But you know
dude.
the funny thing?
So
You know the funny
bullshit.
thing is we'll
So
sit there and say
bullshit.
for some other fights, like Dana weighs in on it. The fans weigh in on certain things. Predicaments weigh in certain things on who wins or who loses. With John Jones, I don't really think that Dana White's a fucking crazy fan. The fans aren't really that crazy fans of John Jones. Like, he has a pretty big following, but not the biggest.
I think most people have like the sentiment because to me, he's fucked up too many times out of the ring. He's fucked up too many times. But I respect the shit out of him as an MMA fighter. My problem is, man, this goes back to a larger problem. I'm not a big fan of Greg Jackson and his camp over there in New Mexico. He turns people into point fighters, all right? This goes back to him commercializing his product. I mean, he's had so many of his longtime fighters leave his camp for that reason because when they have something new and shiny in there, they don't know what to fucking do with it. And they get so happy that they have some new shiny toy and they just want to play with it. Rashad Evans was the first like major hit that left that camp afterwards. But he just fucking has point fighters. When have we seen John Jones finish a fight recently? Like, just go out there and ball out.
Fought in the John Jones fight.
He has not. That's why I think if he goes to heavyweight, he's going to have a tough fucking time because he's going to be hitting boys that can take much bigger shots.
I think a big factor in it, he's getting older. I think, if you listen to him in every one of his interviews, I probably listened to like 4 or 5 leading up to the fight. He was very highly focused on a legacy. And in order to create a legacy, you have to be the best of all time. He broke that record that weekend. And I think he maybe wants to do another 2 or 3 before,
People are remembered by having fantastic fights.
Yeah, but I think he still does have fantastic fights.
He has boring fights. He has plenty of fights
The
that he
Alex
should be
Smith fight
finishing.
was boring. The Thiago Santos fight was not boring.
Mostly
Dominic
because
Reyes-
of Thiago Santos.
No, I mean Thiago Santos. Dude, he was fucking Thiago Santos up.
Yeah, because he had 2 blown out knees.
That's his own fault. That ain't John Jones' fault.
No, that's nature's fault.
You gonna blame gravity on those pulling his fucking kneecaps out? No.
Yeah, if he had no gravity, if there was no gravity in the cage. Fuck. You know what? Fuck it. I just realized that's gravity's fault that Thiago Santos did not win that fucking fight. Fuck you, gravity. No,
Listen, man, there's going to be
No, I'm
fans,
just
there's
kidding, I'm
going to
just
be
kidding.
haters, there's going to be people on the fence.
No. Look.
John Jones
I actually
Is
do.
the fucking truth.
No, I like John Jones as a fighter. But my problem is he has not fought his fight recently. He does not take guys to the ground. He doesn't use those crazy-ass elbows, those crazy-ass transitions that made him super exciting when he was fighting
then
guys
bring back fucking
like
DC.
Ryan Bader and shit. He doesn't have... Yes,
No,
yeah,
there's
you
some
remember that?
fucking
Like
fights
he
back
those.
in the day,
Well, I'm
dude.
just saying, like he has some crazy-ass fights. He's not
Texera.
finishing anymore. And
Rashad, Rampage, like he fucks him.
But this is what Greg Jackson
he
does,
fucked up
though.
Gus. Yo, he fucking put Gustafson down, bro.
You could also argue that Gus also did take a nut shot in the first round and that slowed him down.
Come on, man. We've all taken nut shots. It doesn't take that long to recoup.
No, yes, it does.
Nah,
You obviously have
I'm
not
fucking
been
around, fucking
kicked in the
around.
huevos.
But John Jones is the
Fuck that
truth,
shit.
and it happens. But at the end of the day, a lot of things need to be fixed. We know that it's not going to
Ring
happen
control.
overnight.
Refs.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. And pay. These motherfuckers need to get paid.
Hey.
They're putting their lives on the line, their health on the
Literally.
line. So, well, I think we'll keep following that, but
Whatever.
we're not going to make a difference to
Yeah.
it.
All right. I think we've talked about enough other shit other than UFC 248. Let's jump into this motherfucker at T-Mobile Arena coming up this Saturday. What is it? The 7th? Yeah, March 7th. Lucky number 7.
Let's go.
I'm really excited for this card, man. This card's good. At least the main card is. I'm not gonna lie. Like the prelims, I could.
Look, if it was only one prelim fight, I'd be ecstatic, which there is, and it's fucking Sugar Shane O'Malley.
Should be on
He's
the
coming
main
back.
card.
Whatever. We can't leave. They can't leave fans out there on the prelims being like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, they can.
Like,
They
why
do
am
it
I
to us
paying
all
for ESPN Plus for this shit? But Sugar Shane O'Malley getting his first fight back in what, over a year and a half? How long has it been?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. Yeah, because he was out on that suspension for what was that substance called again? Either way, it was a banned substance. They found out it was because of a tainted supplement. I think they passed him for that. So he was actually supposed to fight last summer. Here's the fucking funny part was it came back up in his blood work at super low levels, going back to the picogram incident of John Jones. And then they ended up benching him for another 6 months. So that's why he's not fighting until now. I won't get into the whole picogram argument. But anyways, yeah, so he's coming back now. So it's been like 2 years since he's last fought.
Hey, he's coming in 10-0 against a Jose Quiznos, 9-3. He's got the height on him. He's got the reach on him. I think in both of those aspects, I think he's a way better boxer. I think he's...
I watch both these guys. Let me tell you something right now. I'm not even going to waste our breath on this one. Jose is being fed to the wolf. He is literally... This is just a comeback fight for Sean. I like that. I like that they do that, kind of like what boxing does, where they'll just kind of feed you a fucking fool to knock out and get everybody... the fans
Connor
excited.
and Cowboy?
No. Yes, exactly. Even if Connor fights Diego Sanchez, let's not even get that. But yeah, Sugar Sean O'Malley, this is a comeback fight for him. Jose does not offer him anything specifically terrifying that I'd be worried about.
What are the stats on this one?
He's like good all around, one of those guys. So I was using air quotations in case you weren't watching our video.
Honestly, I think Sean has he has an entire full arsenal of fucking everything. I haven't seen much ground game, but I think if he gets on the ground, he's lanky enough that I think he'll be able to do some things. But his defense game is great, and I think he just gets you into wanting to have a throwback hand-in-hand battle. I'm excited about this fight.
Me too.
What are the stats on this one?
Do you have the stats up right now, or
not?
I was looking at the main card mostly.
So, significant strikes landed per minute. We got O'Malley at 6.75.
That's
Jose
insane.
At 3.49.
That's good.
Accuracy, we got O'Malley at 56% against Jose at 47%.
Stop right there real quick. I tell anybody, good strikers, their accuracy is over 50%. Go ahead.
And then striking absorbers per minute, we got 4.06 for O'Malley against a Jose at 2.43.
Wow.
And then
huge
we have
difference.
And then a defense, which is a little bit weird with everything else, is 66 for O'Malley and a 68 for Jose. And then I'm not going to go over the grappling because we're probably not going to see that happen. I think somebody's going to get their lights put out.
No high-level grapplers in this one. Jose's a good all-around fighter, but he's being fed to the wolves on this one.
Yeah, but I called it last week. I asked Ryan and Sean to participate in it, just so that we can, get the fans more involved, pulling them in, calling them out on their shit, or allowing the fans to call us out on our shit. Who do you think's going to win? Your fight prediction. Mine is I think it's going to be O'Malley. I think it's not even going to get out of the first round. I think it's going to be just a straight clean knockout. Ryan, you got any words to say on that?
No, O'Malley's going to fuck him up. I say the second round though.
All right.
I say he feels him out for the first round. He's going to throw. You're going to see flashes of some of his spinning kicks, and you're going to see his range. He's going to settle himself in. He hasn't been in the octagon for 2 years. I think you'll see him get clean and crisped up in the first round. So I don't see this being finished until late second round, maybe even into the early third round. Okay, that's my prediction.
We'll see.
Yeah,
and for fight fans that are
that one's
watching,
free.
That are watching, we're gonna post up our predictions online, and we would love for you all to participate and come in and call us out on what you think is gonna be best.
So Dan, let me tell you something this week.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this for a little while, and we're finally gonna do this one. What we're gonna do is we're going to put the poll up on our Facebook page. It's the Casuals MMA, man. Just look at our fucking logo, and you can find us anywhere. Like, we're on everything anyways. But go on our Facebook page. We're going to put the poll up. Whoever has the best, for any of our fans, whoever comes out on top with the guesses for this card, we're going to do a shirt with the MMA logo, or with our Casuals MMA logo. Those are going to be coming out here soon. So.
Signed by me. I'm kidding.
Not going to be signed by you because that would render it worthless. And nobody needs that. Nobody needs that, Danny boy. But hey, man, like cool merch. Who doesn't like cool free fucking shirts, man? Like who doesn't fucking love that shit? That's what we're gonna start doing here soon. So go onto our Facebook page and start doing that. You got me going into that a little early, but hey, what the fuck? Who cares?
That's it.
Yeah, Sugar Sean O'Malley, man. This is what the UFC does, though. They give you on the prelim, on the free card, on ESPN. They say, "Oh, here's a great fucking fight for you to watch." That's why, again, Jose's being fed to the wolves on this one to get everybody excited, because then they're like, pay $65, bitches, for the fucking card. Oh, and you don't have Watch ESPN? Pay another $5 for your monthly subscription fee. Yeah. Eat that, mother. Well, no, ESPN, it should be on live TV, ESPN.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because usually what they transition, let me see what the early prelims are. It's super convoluted. Yeah, see, so the early prelims are on UFC Fight Pass, which you have to have a $15 a month subscription for. $15. Yes, you heard that right. It's getting
worth it. They're buying up
if you're a fight fan
of around the world, different.
If you're like us and you like watching jiu-jitsu matches, you like watching. They have straight up Muay Thai fights on there, which I love watching, even though they're at crazy ass times because obviously they're happening in Thailand. They're usually on like a Tuesday at 6 o'clock or like 5 o'clock in the morning. But you can go back and historically watch a ton of fights. Fight Pass is nice if you're a really big fan, but the problem is you're paying $15 for Fight Pass, you're paying another $5 or $6 for ESPN or Watch ESPN, and then you're paying $65 for the pay-per-view. Yeah. So, yes, ESPN is destroying
Just go to your local bar, folks. Go to your local bar.
You're
you probably spend like $25.
No, you're not.
For some beers and $10 for wings. You save yourself about $30.
I never walk out of there less than $40. But anyways, all right. But yeah, that's the main prelim. That one should be fun. That one's to get us all excited and hyped up for the main event. Or main card, sorry. Which it's a 5-fight main card. I don't even know if they do anything less anymore. I feel like they're always five fights. This one is kicked off. This one's kicked off with a nice, fun fight with Alex Oliveira and Max Griffin.
We're good?
Yes, we're good. We're super paranoid this week. We're making sure that this thing's recording all the time now. So
yeah, for me, I'm looking forward to this fight. You got two old school fighters in here. Both, I think, are going to put on a show to kick off the main event. Max Griffin is going to be your plus 115. Then we got Oliveira coming in at minus 145. Griffin, you got 15-7 record. Oliveira, you got a 19-8-1 record. His last win, I think, was in September 2018 against Carlo Pedestro by TKO in round 1.
That was when he was still eating meat, by the way.
And I think they're going to come in guns swinging. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I honestly, for my prediction, I think Oliveira has probably got, not just my own prediction, but I think he's going to come in, with a lot more technical strikes. His ground game is unbelievable.
Fantastic.
But the one thing that he has against him is, Max Griffin's takedown defense is at 65%. So it's going to be a little rough, but I think if he takes it to the ground, I don't think he's going to do so well. But I think this is going to be a stand-up, back-and-forth fight. I'm excited. They're both veterans in the game, and I think it's a great way to kick off the fucking main card.
Both these guys are fun as shit to watch. The most common opponent that they have recently is Mike Perry. 1 loss, 1-1 against him. Max Griffin beat him in a decision. I think it was 2-1. Most of the judges had it 2-1 for the rounds, and then Oliveira lost to him recently. But I think that's kind of indicative of where Oliveira's been at the last 2 years, man. He's kind of on a slide right now. To me, if anything, this is to see what Max Griffin can do.
Yeah, but they've given Oliveira some great fights, though.
Oliveira's been around for a while, dude, and he's a great all-around fighter. But like I said, he's also been 0-3 since he's been a vegetarian. So hopefully, maybe he's getting a little meat in his diet. He's just looked a little drained. He bounces back between 170 and 155. He's a fantastic all-around fighter, man. Like, he has the tools in the hand. You know what? He's exactly like his friend Donald Cerrone, man. He's exactly like his friend Donald Cerrone. They even share the same nickname, man, Cowboy. Seriously, where he's good in the stand-up, he's good on the ground, he's good anywhere it takes it. I think the thing with Max Griffin is Oliveira looks like he's had a bunch of fights. Like, you can see it in the way he fights now. You can tell he's a veteran. Max Griffin, I think, moves a lot. I think he'll be a lot quicker. I think he'll be pretty strong if they end up clinching up and be able to separate. I think Max is going to keep this at a distance because I wouldn't want to take Oliveira to the ground. No, this is going to go to a decision. I can almost promise you that.
I hope it doesn't.
I think it is. Well, like, decisions aren't always bad, man. That means we get three 5-minute rounds of a hell of a fight, man. And this one could easily have a fight in the night contender on it.
If you look back at it, what was it? The Dragon against Hooker? That went all rounds, and that was a fucking brawl.
When Felder should have won?
I don't know about that. That's controversial as well. Yeah. But no, you're right. Sometimes them going through the rounds, that doesn't mean that you're going to get sold short. So like I said, I think it's going to be a great fight. If I had to call it, I really, I'm rooting for Oliveira, but I think Max Griffin, I think he may catch him. I think Oliveira is going to try and go for the knockout, and I think he's going to get caught because he's going to keep that distance. So I'm probably calling a finish in round 3.
Damn. I see Max winning this one. Long term, I think this one's going to go to decision. I see Max winning this. I think he's going to do exactly what he did in, I think it was his Perry fight, his last fight. Do you know? I forgot. Either way, I think he's going to do what he did with Perry. He's going to keep his distance for different reasons, though. Not because Oliveira's going to one-punch knock out him, but I think because he threatens the clinch and the takedown, and that you don't want to go down there with Oliveira. Like, why risk it? I think Max is going to keep the distance with his long reach and just pop him. Stick and move, baby. Stick and move. Stick and move. That's why I see Max doing for the decision here.
All right. So on to the next one. We have
no segue there. Just like yeah. So no, this is. Hey, let me tell you what, man. This is some good veteran guys that have been around the UFC for a little bit. Max Griffin's been with the UFC for a little bit too. This one should be a fun one to get it started. There is zero title implications here or anything like that. Like, if anything, to me this is more so maybe just test Max and see if he's even a lightweight contender, maybe even to get in that top 15. Because he's not there currently. I don't know what his ranking is, but I doubt he's in the top 15. But fucking roll him up, baby. See where he's at. As if the lightweight division needed more fucking contenders.
I don't think it needs anybody else in the mix.
Yeah, fuck that, right?
I think at this point, we're all happy with where we're at.
Yeah. Anyways, so go, and you already went through some of the stats on that one, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you have anything else to bring up?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good, through baby. Let's get to that second fight. What's the second fight on card?
So the next fight that we have coming up is Neil Magny against Li Jingliang. Woo! I'm looking forward to this. We got Lee at minus 180 as the favorite, and then Neil Magny as plus 150. Both of them are unbelievably great in the ring. I think this is a perfect matchup. For most that don't know, Lee has got 13 years in the game, 17 wins, 5 losses, including the UFC. He's had 3 performance of the night fights, 2 fight of the night wins. Most recently was against Elizu Dos Santos on the Andrade versus Zhang fight. So on that was his last fight, and he went out with a fucking bang.
Yeah, he did.
And then we got Neil Magny. We got him with a 21-8 record. In his last night, he was viciously knocked out by Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Who's a monster.
Exactly. I don't think anybody wants to go against him hand and or legs. But Neil Magny went in there, did his best. So I think he's got something to prove after that loss. Because Neil Magny, since he's been in the UFC, has been talked about. I heard about him, a lot of great things, and he's had some up and downs. But I'm excited to see him fight. I think Lee's gonna probably take this one. But I think they've both got a lot of great things coming into this fight. I think I called it last week. I think for Lee to start winning this fight, I think the easiest thing is to go after those leg kicks. Neil Magny just cannot take those leg kicks. You saw that in the Dos Anjos fight. He was just begging to get out of that ring after those leg kicks. What else do we got here?
My turn.
Lee's a fucking monster, dude. This dude's a heavy hitter. I think
You're actually going to see you're going to see a contrast of two different fight styles, at least in the stand-up game, which is funny because Lee comes from a wrestling background. He wrestled for a while before getting into that's how he got into mixed martial arts in the first place. But he's kind of like one of them old school wrestlers that he uses his grappling to stand up and just throw fucking haymakers and bombs with he throws a shitload of hooks with his left and right hand. So this one should be fun because Neil Magny has a fantastic jab. He has a long fucking reach, and he's going to stick to the outside. I think what you're going to see here is a contrast between two different fight styles of one guy trying to get in and the other guy trying to stay the fuck on the outside and stick and move. I'd be interested to see what the grappling game looks like here. Magny's a good all-around fighter. I'd like to see Magny not Magny. I'd like to see what Lee can do kind of on the inside a little bit. This I think for me, Lee's actually been in the UFC for a while, but he mostly fights on the China cards, the Far East cards. So I like to see him show up for this one. This is to introduce him to the American crowd to me because he's been a star over in the Far East. He fights in the same camp as Zhang, who fights later on the card, obviously.
Second time.
Yeah. So. Dude, I want to fucking see this.
Honestly,
this is going to be exciting.
I think he's going to have to throw off Neil. To your point, Neil has great boxing. I think he's going to be able to keep his distance. He's long and lanky. So Lee's going to have to bring it. He's going to have to throw him off his game. And like I said, I think what's going to equate to that is the fucking leg kicks. I think if he can really start landing those, Neil Magny, as he always does when he gets leg kicked, he doesn't go back, he leans in. Because he throws his leg back, but he puts his top half forward. And I think if Lee can do that, I think he's going to end up landing like a clean shot or a clean head kick. Because I noticed that he drops his hand in the past when he's suffering those leg kicks. Mm-hmm. So I think Lee just needs to just focus on what his weaknesses are. And I think he's probably going to come in with a way more aggressive game with the hands. So I'm excited to see that because any fighter that I see go from mixed martial arts to focus on their hands, I always look at those being a lot more technical fights, and those make me excited because you have to get into that person's mind. You have to spend some time watching and how to break them down and overall defeat them based on hands because there's no kick coming in there. There's no grappling. It's just how can I outbox this person? And for me, that's a technical fight that I get excited for. So I'm fucking stoked about this fight.
Yeah, part of my problem with Magny is he sits on the center line of his opponent too much, so that means he stands up in front of him, which I think is going to be bad news if you stand in front of a guy like Lee who can kind of move in and out a little bit and throw those heavy shots. There it is. I think that'll be the big thing that we have to kind of watch between these two boys. And again, the other thing too is I'd be interested to see if Lee pushes him up against the cage. Like, since Magny has the bigger reach, he's a bigger, longer dude. Like, I'd like to see what his wrestling looks like, man. Show us some of that wrestling skills. Again, he for the most part from the fights that I've seen from him when I've gone back and analyzed him as a fighter, he uses his wrestling to stand up and just bang, dude, because he's fucking built. He's strong. He's a solid 170 physically. And to me, I think that this is kind of an introductory fight for the fans here to Lee. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Let me show you against Neil Magny, who's a solid fucking 170.
Well, let's flip the coin here, and what does it take for Neil to fucking win this fight?
Stick to the outside, baby. Stick to the outside. Stick and move. Stick and move. Stick and move. I haven't seen a lot from Lee's ground game, like what his jiu-jitsu looks like. Magny's has improved a lot over the last few years. Again, Magny's got all the tools, man. Like, he's good. He's a great all-around fighter.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. To me, when you're that fucking long, there's zero reason to get on the fucking ground, man. Just stick and move. Stay along the outside. Let Lee stand in the middle. Let him throw them haymakers and make them miss. That's what I say. That's what I say. Move left and right. Get him to chase you.
Yeah, but sometimes even with those long, lanky fuckers, when you get on the ground, man, sometimes people don't know what to expect with somebody long and lanky, in those legs and those elbows. Sometimes you want to take it to the ground. Like, look at Tony Ferguson. Whenever he's on the ground, watch out for those fucking legs and elbows.
Tony's another level, though.
Yeah.
Tony's another level, baby.
But for me, I'm excited to see it go either way. but I'm gonna call Lee.
I think Lee wins.
I don't think he's gonna finish the fight. I think it's gonna go to decision. But I think Lee's gonna bring it. He's got something to prove. Him and Zhang do. But we'll see where it goes. But I'm calling Lee decision. How about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna call Lee with the knockout.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
I want to. I want to see. I want to see that from him. Again, he's been around for a while. I like Neil Magny, man. Like, I like him a lot. So don't get me wrong on that. But I just want to see Lee show up. I think we have a completely untapped market in China of mixed martial artists. And I think it would be...
We'll get into that later.
Well, I just think it would be fucking huge if him and Zhang win both their fights respectively, especially in big fashion. You know what I mean? Like, they win. They both have a unique striking style, I think, that you kind of see from like more traditional martial arts styles that are kind of mixed in with their fight styles. So it just makes it fun to watch. So for me, I want to see Lee win. I see him throwing some big ass fucking hooks on the inside if he can get inside that reach on Neil and just fucking throw him, baby. Yeah. You know what we haven't done, man? I forgot to look at the fight odds for both these fights. This one and the last one. Do you have the fight odds up?
So I had Lee at minus 180, and I had Magny at plus 150.
Okay, that sounds about right. Lee's Vegas' favorite right now. And then going back to the first fight too.
Yeah, I called that one already. So
did you? Okay.
Was at a plus 1. I kicked off with it plus 115. Oliveira's at minus 145. But we both called, I believe, Griffin on that fight.
Yeah. No, I knew Oliveira was the favorite on that one, which I think respectfully he should be so, being more the veteran there. But anyways, so I think we both called that one. We're good. I like that one. To be honest, this has a potential, like, you're opening
these first
two
fucking fights.
They could be
gonna
wild.
Be something to watch.
They could be wild.
Don't be
man.
coming in, fucking stumbling in at 11 o'clock thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna catch the last two fucking cards. This entire fucking fight is stacked. Even the next fight.
How many Fight of the Night awards do both these fights have between all four fighters? I think it's quite a bit.
I'm not sure, but I know
it's got to be.
I called it just for Lee alone. 3 performance of the fucking nights, 2 Fight of the Night wins. Magny, I didn't look at it, but just that record for Lee alone is fucking unreal. So when we say it, he's going to come in to try and fucking prove a point, being that he's been on back-to-back cards for Zhang when she won the belt. Now she's defending it. They're both from the same country, both from the same fucking fight camp. This is going to be the fucking main card to watch. I think this whole fucking card is going to be probably the card of the year. I mean, dude, I know they don't call that, but...
even Max Griffin and Alex Oliveira, there has to be a few Fight of the Night awards between both of those guys. Oh, for sure. Too. So you're probably looking, I would say, if I had to just make a random guess, you're looking at probably 5 or 6 Fight of the Night awards between the first 2 fights alone.
Oh, for sure.
Or some kind of performance of the nights.
We got another one coming up, so you may change your fucking preference here. On the next fight as well, because I know you're a huge Beneil Dariush fan.
Yeah,
so that may be another fucking...
Dude, I love anybody Rafael Cordero trains, baby. I love all them boys. All right, no, let's kick it off. Let's go to the next part, or let's go to the next fight. Call it.
Jeez, man, you're putting the fucking pressure on me today, man.
Well, because you're so ready to go, dude. You got your wild turkey over there. We're not sponsored, but wish we were. As much fucking
2 weeks in a row, man. You guys got to start fucking paying up.
This is fantastic.
2 weeks in a fucking row. You better start paying up.
Well, because usually I get Jack Daniels. Honestly,
between the 2 honeys, this is better.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like Jim Beam's honey for a little bit, but I was like, I'm gonna try some wild turkey. Well, dude, this wild turkey one is good though, because it maintains that whiskey taste. It doesn't have like too much of a sugary taste.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But
Jack Daniels always got like, it hits that taste bud or the back of your throat or something. This is so
maybe
smooth.
If you're a lady. Sorry to all the ladies.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie.
For all the zero ladies listening.
Hey, calling you bitches out too. You better start listening.
Whoa. We don't say the B word on here, baby.
All right, no B word. But calling you out. Jump in the comments. Call your fights. Let's fucking go.
Beat Dan for calling them bitches. We're not sexist on this show.
I'm sorry. I take it back. take it back.
This sounds like this really.
Hopefully
quickly,
none of them. Hopefully none of them come back to this card after a couple of years and call me out like they normally do. Like, oh, fucking Kevin Hart, he was making fun of the gays, and this motherfucker made fun of this. No, don't call me out. Like, don't be like putting it on social media like 10 years ago Dan didn't like women, and now he's telling everybody that
you have no choice. You have to like women, all the women in your life. Like you have to. Like
I got 3 of them. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say between the wifey and the kids, man. Like.
There's something else though.
But this real quickly turned into a nighttime jazz show. Like, ladies, we're gonna be listening to jazz and saxophones. No,
just remember, man.
Just remember what? You cut me off. What was it?
We're all in the same playing field, and it's 50-50 in every aspect of it. So my apologies.
You don't have to make up for it. I'm just bullshitting. Where were we? Where are we going at?
So next fight.
The
one that you're
zero ability to transition here.
Yeah. So on the next fight, we got Beneil Dariush against, and I'm fucking up these names, so call me out on this.
Drakkar Klose.
There you go. Thank you for finishing that because I was in a fucking.
Drakkar.
And we got Beneil.
He sounds like a goddamn vampire, dude. Drakkar.
Oh man, you never know. You may see another Mike Tyson ear bite, man. You never fucking know. So we got Beneil Dariush coming in 17-4-1 record. He is on a 3-fight win streak. And get this motherfucker, back-to-back performances of the night over Camacho and Drew Dober. His submission game is fucking top-notch. I don't give a fuck if he's on his back. He's on top. He is something else to fucking watch. Drakkar.
He was getting tore up by Drew Dober before he fucking tapped his ass out.
Hey,
but
man.
No. But I'll get into it in a minute, dude. That's why Beneil Dariush is my
voice,
dude.
I can't do the voice, but do it
That's
for me.
why
Don't
he's
sleep
my
on him.
dude.
Don't do your voice, man. Don't sleep on him at all.
Don't sleep on him.
That wasn't what I was looking for.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like the Pee Wee Herman one.
Pee Wee Herman.
But also, don't fucking sleep on it. And this is where I said, Ryan, that we may, between the first 2 cards and this card, somewhere is going to be fight of the night, performance of the night, because you also got Drakkar Klose coming in on this with a 3-fight win streak. All his fights, win or lose, have gone the distance. That's the only fucking thing that I got against him. But they weren't close wins. I will give him that. They weren't close wins, but they did go the distance. But I'm excited about this fight. I haven't done too much digging, so let's jump into the stats. Unless, Ryan, you got something on both of them before giving out the stats on what we got to look at for this fight here.
Well, for starters, I'll tell you why Klose has not gone the distance is because he's fought some fucking dudes in his last few fights. I mean, just going against Venata, who's a perennial fucking striker. That's something to say right there. He fought Bobby Green, and then he fought Giagos in his last one. That one was a great fucking fight. To me, he was losing that fight up until midway second round, and then he took that fucking fight over. But no, Klose, man, both these guys are fucking exciting again. But I think this is going to be the biggest one where we see a difference in the fight styles. Because you have Beneil Dariush.
That strategy is going to come into play.
that strategy is going to come into play. Here, it's going to depend on who has better strategy.
Let's go.
Beneil Dariush is a Rafael Cordero product for striking. He's one of the best striking coaches in MMA, period. He trains Jose Aldo and a lot of good Brazilian strikers.
Hey man, don't sleep on
and then he's
Freddie Roach, all right?
And then he's also a black belt in but Freddie Roach is just a pure boxing coach though. That's part of the problem. And then he's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, whereas Klose has he's a fun striker because he's buck wild and he's willing to throw caution to the wind and throw some heavy ass fucking strikes. But he doesn't really use his wrestling all that great. And even if he was like, yeah, I'm gonna use my wrestling against Beneil Dariush, that's not a good fucking idea because to your point, he just won his last 2 fights by submission, including one that he was losing to Drew Dober. He was getting his ass clocked, which is something to say. Drew Dober is the fucking dude, man. He won some amateur Muay Thai belts, I think, because he'd been training since he was 14. in Muay Thai. So he's getting cleaned up on the feet, but then he ended up tapping him out, man. So the thing that I like about Beneil Dariush here, though, is he's so suffocating, man. Like, that's what great fucking grapplers do, is they're suffocating. They're on top of you. They don't give you a fucking inch to fucking move or try and transition.
It's like a fucking python. They just squeeze the life out of you.
Yeah.
And I mean, they don't even have to be on top of you to do it.
Yeah.
It's just their pressure.
And he also uses a series of great trips. So, like, he'll get on the side of you. Like, if he starts getting on the side of you, you're kind of fucked, because he has a nice series of throws and trips that he'll use to get you on the ground and kind of suffocate you down there. So, so if they open up this fight and Close starts winning the stand-up, then Beneil can easily take this to the fucking ground if he needs to. I mean, because Close, he's a wrestler, but, I mean, he's only, I think, like a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, so I don't think that to me...
I hope how they call it, I just hope it's not a crotch-sniffing fight. I don't want to see that.
No. Well, I will say this. Beneil gets tagged. He gets tagged a lot. He has a great... there's a great opportunity for Close to finish him off, for sure. Like, my problem with Close, though, in his stand-up is he's super stiff and he wings shots. He stands on your center line and he'll just whip shots, blah, 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 blah. But he throws his hooks too far out. He doesn't keep it nice, tight. His striking is very loose, and it's not like super, super fluid that you like to see from high-level strikers. So Beneil could easily, like, to me, Beneil's a great fucking stand-up striker. He was doing great against
Camacho.
No, he tore fucking Camacho up before he submitted him in that very first round. But what's his name? He just fought Gaethje not too long ago. Oh my god, why is it
Michael Johnson?
Nope, not Michael Johnson. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. Oh wait, hold on, I have Close's up. This is gonna bother me because I actually really like him in the lightweight division, and I'm like, who? What's his fucking name?
Get your shit together, man.
I know. I'm a mess. What do you want me to do here? I talk too fast. It's the problem. I talk too fast, and then I get through.
Yeah, but see, this is where I said we need fucking Sean, because Sean literally is like stows everything like the fucking Matrix in his fucking brain. He'd be like, oh, this.
Sean knows everything.
Guy's like a natural fucking memory card walking around.
Barboza. Yeah.
How could you forget that?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
what the fuck is wrong
Edson
with you, man?
Barboza is like one of my favorite lightweights, and I'm like, yeah, this one fucking dude. Like, you mean your brother Sean? No, I'm just kidding. No, Edson Barboza. To me, he was outstriking Edson up until Edson fucking knocked him the F out. But I still think Beneil has clean stand up. So back to the point of him fighting Close. I'm very, very, very interested to see how the strategy of this fight is going to take place.
What's the stats on his defense takedown in a second?
For which one?
Close.
For Close? I don't know. Let's take a quick gander here.
Because I mean, if that looks good, he's got a fucking shot. But I haven't gotten a second to look at his stats. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, but like a lot of this depends. Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Depends on what was that?
Depends on the level of fucking grapplers that he's fought too. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
to me, he's had
right.
very favorable matchups as far as like him being a heavy hitter and standing up and fighting with guys. So his grappling defense is at 70%. But I mean, we go back and look at even the last few guys that he's fought. He fought Mike Perry. I think it was just last year he fought Mike Perry. He fought Bobby Green. He fought Venata. None of those guys are takedown guys. No, you know what I mean? Like, if they're going for a takedown, it's out of necessity. I mean, even fucking Mike Perry took him down in the last round. It wasn't overly impressive. It was like a desperation attempt there at the end. So the difference in the level of play here is a little bit different. So when you're looking, like even look at this before that. He was fighting Diakese, Powell. I mean, so those are his fights in the UFC. He hasn't exactly fought like an elite level submission artist like Beneil is.
Yeah. So
to me, this comes down to game plan. Like, what are we going to see from these boys? Close, I think, because he's been able to bully people because he's a big strong dude at that division. I think that he is not going to have a problem opening up the round and kind of feeling Beneil's power. feeling his strength and throwing those close shots, seeing where he's at, and then pushing him up against the cage and kind of feeling where that's at, dirty boxing. If I was Beneil, take it to the ground, test his jiu-jitsu. That's what that is.
All right. So are we calling it here?
I'm going with Beneil on this one.
You think a submission or we're going to decision?
Submission.
Well, after your breakdown, I'm gonna go with close. I think he probably spent most of his camp probably working on takedown defense, and I think he's probably gonna catch him coming in. So I'm gonna go with close.
No.
I'm probably gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go with close. I'm gonna go with a decision. I think he's gonna be able to come in with more of the punches. And you know, if he worked on his, I feel like if he worked on his jiu-jitsu enough, he'll be able to get himself back up. But who knows? But I'm gonna go with close.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, funny enough that you brought up counters, I wasn't overly impressed, man, watching Close's counters. He throws a lot of winging punches, and he stands flat-footed as shit when he throws. Granted, that has worked for him in the past. He can stand and bang and hurt people like that, but I don't know, against an experienced guy. I mean, Benil's been knocked out. He's been rocked.
That's what I'm saying. He's been knocked
out. But
his weaknesses have been fucking brought to light. So
yeah.
You're saying Drakkara's got some hands. Obviously, when you walk into a fight, you do your analysis. He's going to be working on his takedown defense, and he's got the hands. He's a mauler. He's fucking strong. Yeah. He's got some really great lower fucking body strength. I think he may be able to hold off Beneil. Yeah. And if he lets his hands fly, is what you say, and I've seen him do it. I think he could pull it off in a decision.
Yeah.
But fighting off a fucking a takedown artist for 3 rounds is not going to be fucking easy. So
no, it's not.
We'll see where we land on that.
Yeah. So either way, I think
if Sean was here, I'd probably be making better decisions today. I'm not going to rely on you to be making good decisions.
That hurts.
Sean's my man. We vibe out here.
Yeah.
I miss Sean a little bit.
I
today.
know. Sean, the analyst. Yeah, no, this one will be, to me, what I'll be watching is to see, like, so as like a more analytical fighter or, viewer, for me, I'm going to be watching what the game plan is for both of these guys. I think for me, what Beneil is going to look for when he opens this up is how well he's striking. If he's striking really well and picks close apart, he's going to stand it up. If he starts getting tagged, you're going to start. The problem I've seen with his grappling, though, like when he's standing up, is he'll just reach for a fucking dude. Like he'll just put his hands out and reach for you while you're fucking hitting him and tagging him. So that's definitely an opportunity for Close to knock him out. Like if he starts tagging him, opening it up, you could start seeing Beneil, because he doesn't do like freestyle wrestling in the same way where he's like taking an aggressive power shot, single leg or double leg shot to take you down. So I don't know. That'll be an interesting part, but I think that'll be the piece on this one to watch.
And another thing, bring it up again before we move on to the next one. I think this is going to be another great fight of the night. Do I think
contender?
It's going to be a contender for sure. Because you're going to see 2 different fighters coming in and trying to outperform one another with what they do best. And let's see where that goes.
Yeah, why don't you do you have the odds up with you right now?
So nope, I don't. I can
tell you. Dariush is the -165 to Close's +135, and that's by Bovada. That's who I always use. Again, you'll see that drastically change this week, but something to keep in mind. Dude, these first 3 are just like super they're razor thin close. Fights? I don't know. Odds. That's the term I was looking for.
All right.
So will be interesting. I think that these are going to be 3 great fights, but I think this one's going to be the biggest one where we see the differential in strategy compared to the first 2 fights, where you see like what that strategy is going to look like. But anyway, so bring us on to the next one, baby. Co-main event.
You don't know.
That was too much drum roll.
But now you fucking know.
Roll down the drum roll a little bit.
This is the fight of the fucking night for me. For you, don't care. Is what it is. But
what
for
a
me,
douche.
For me, this is the fight of the night. I've been waiting for fucking 2 years, maybe even more than that, I think. But we got Jedrzejczyk against Wiley Zhang. That's it. I am 100% the number one fan of Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Been watching her since she won the belt, even before that. So this
I've been watching her longer.
This is going to be an exciting fight, a emotional fight for me. I got all betting odds and everything that I can invest in Joanna Jedrzejczyk taking this one, even though she's coming in as a plus 135 against Weili Zhang at a minus 175 betting favorite.
That's nothing though. I mean, that's super slim odds. That means that Vegas is like very torn on this.
Well, I mean, the thing for me and the difference is she won the belt in fucking fashion. She is on a 4-fight winning streak,
Absolute
Zhang.
fashion.
And but you want to know what? I cannot sit there and say that I was shocked. But I don't want to.
About what specifically?
About Jessica Andrade getting taken out. She is
That fast though?
That fast. You know what? Honestly, yeah.
Why?
Because Zhang has knockout power. When she fought Joanna does not have knockout power. She is a salt and pepper fighter with legs and hands. Weili Zhang has the fucking hands.
That was a beautiful way of putting it. I never really thought about putting it that way with JJ. I love JJ. She's fantastic.
You better love her.
Well,
I've
been watching her longer than you've been watching her. Not that I'm trying to make this a comparison.
No, it's okay.
I know she's your boo-boo. I know she's your boo and all, but...
Because like I told you and your brother last week, you know, what gets me into sports is when somebody's passionate, when somebody literally dedicates their life and everything else around it into being who they are and a perfectionist at their fucking sport. For me, my number one pull-in is somebody that literally will say, I do this for you, the fighting fans. Yes, I get something out of it, but I put a performance on for you. Joanna has done that every fucking fight. Win, lose, did you fucking enjoy it? And even up to the fight, in the middle of it, before even fucking the fight happens, she's working the crowd, she's working the audience. I want to know what you want, I want to know how you want it done, and I'm going to fucking go in there and I'm going to perform, and I love her for that. Because she never fucking steps down no matter who it is. She's a fucking animal, and her mindset is just something to continuously watch until she retires.
So the question here is...
I honestly, I don't know, because they're both going to be coming in, throwing shots. They both have a heavy hand game. They both come in swinging for the fences. It honestly just comes down to who's going to knock out who. I don't think Joanna's going to knock out Weili, and I don't think Weili's going to catch Joanna the way she moves in and out with a knockout punch. It's going to be straight. I think it's going to go to decision, and it's going to be straight dependent on who hit one another more with not significant strikes, power shots. And I think for me, I think Joanna's going to win this fight because she's going to be throwing a lot more body kicks, leg kicks, and I think that's what's going to call the win for her. Mm-hmm. But we'll see where it goes. For me, like let me take a look at the notes here, Ryan. If you want to jump in really quick.
I'm happy to jump in. I was letting you get out your shit because my friend.
You're the other side of the coin here on this.
I'm over. No, look, hey man, I love me some JJ too, but I think her time is past. Her time is gone. She has she was great for the sport, for women. She's always going to be a top contender as long as she's fighting in this specific weight division.
Please don't bring on the China shit. I don't want to hear it today.
Zhang got that shit, boy. You talk about someone that's got more behind them, dude. The Chinese government fucking is behind their fucking fighters. Like, they make sure they're in shape. Because whether that's good or bad, mostly bad, is because the Chinese government wants to make sure they're not represented.
Communism shit in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what that was. A little bit of communism there. They're like, they do not want to be represented badly on the world stage, but.
You might not see her again if she loses this fucking fight.
Get out of here. Yeah, she will. She's too much of a fan favorite.
Shit.
Yeah, you are, because you know that your girl's going to lose, so that's why. But Zhang just offers so fucking much, man. Like, like I think the Andrade fight was a best case scenario for her. Like, she doesn't exactly put girls out in one shot like that typically. Andrade is just somebody that comes in straight, but I think that what that is indicative of is Zhang's ability to counterpunch. And that's a best case scenario where you have somebody like Andrade that just comes in 1-2, 1-2, hook, whatever, overhand right, whatever. And she was able to capitalize on her striking ability. But to your point, I think that JJ has a fucking motor. All right, for starters, she can go 20 rounds at the same speed, it seems like. But the problem is, like, I have not seen her change over the years. Like, Holly Holm, I've seen change. Like, she took Megan Anderson down. She showed a little bit of growth in her game. To me, JJ hasn't showed much change. I mean,
that's what she lost, and honestly, that's what she lost that Shevchenko fight the third time.
Shevchenko's just bigger than her, though.
Like, either which way, she's just outboxed. She's out.
Yeah,
because she comes forward too.
Yeah,
but she's more technical than Andrade.
But I mean, even just to show how good JJ is, like, Shevchenko's been finishing bitches, and I mean, JJ went up to fight her, and they still went the distance for that.
And it was a fucking great fight.
It was
back
a
and forth.
Fantastic fight. That was the third time they fought, I believe, including back to their Muay Thai.
just threw.
Actually, that might have been their fourth
punches.
time. That might have been their fourth time. I think they fought twice in. Or maybe they fought twice in Muay Thai and once in MMA already. And yeah, so maybe that was their fourth time. Regardless, JJ is the woman, man. Like, I love her. I love watching her fight, but I just haven't seen her combos develop, man. And she is salt and pepper. She's just going to season the fight. She ain't going to finish it. You know what I mean? Like, she's not going to let it bake and sit.
Yeah, she's not one to take down.
So the thing,
to take down.
To me, JJ needs to take this into the fourth and fifth round, and she needs to find a way to finish the fight.
She needs to outclass. This is where we get back to you need to beat the champion
to win against the champion. Yeah, to get that belt. To me, Zhang has a lot on the line, man. She's got her whole country behind her right now. Don't even compare it because China's a lot bigger than Poland. I think
China's a lot bigger than every fucking goddamn continent.
Bigger than the U.S., that's for sure. But she's got a lot going on right now, man. She's a fresh face for this division. I think she's a very she's like to me she's the evolution of women's MMA, much like Valentina is, much like Amanda is. Like, those women are the next fucking they're the next in the evolution of MMA for women's MMA. I think we're starting to see a lot of diversity with them, because to me, since women's MMA has got into the UFC, I've kind of said this was like the early days for men, where you see like a handful of people that kind of just rose and ruled the division, but everybody was one-dimensional. You know what I mean? Like, they were really good at what they were at. I think now we're starting to see a lot of these fantastic women that are good all around. Zhang is one of those, and I think that she just offers too much. But granted, her cardio has always been questioned. JJ's has not. JJ can go 10 rounds. Everybody's like, JJ can take her 10 fucking rounds. So,
and I mean, she only went to decision 2 times in her UFC career. Once against Tisha Torres, which you want to beat the shit out of her.
You can also say Tisha's a new fighter since then.
Yeah, but Tisha with Weili Zhang, I can't say it could have went either way. She did outthrow her.
No. Yeah.
But even, Danielle Taylor, that was a close fight.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Zhang's
you can honestly question her durability.
Not even her durability, but I'm just saying, like, she's not necessarily.
I think you can question her durability.
Yeah.
She has. I don't think she has, because in all her fights, look at the stats. She's outpunched every fucking fighter by double. Mm-hmm. Joanna does the same thing, and I think she's a lot more technical in her moving than Weili is.
So I would say, yeah, okay.
I think she is.
That's a good way to put it.
Better fucking hands fighter. She's not a knockout artist, but I think she has better fucking hands and kicks than any fighter in that division. Even better than fucking Rose, and she lost twice. And I disagree with you. Time and time again, she did not lose that second fucking fight.
She did.
No, she didn't.
She won 4 and 5. She didn't win 1, 2, 3.
Let's not get there. But
oh wait, isn't this go back to you have to beat the champ? Yeah, that goes back to that argument.
I think she beat the champ in that second fucking fight. I watched it 3 times.
No, but your whole point of to be the champ, you have to beat the champ. You have to finish them.
No, I don't think finishing. I think outclassing. I think she outclassed Rose.
No, she didn't. Not in her second fight.
So
hey, I love JJ. Like, I'm not a big Rose fan because I don't think she's like.
And I'm not looking forward to her comeback fight.
I'm not a big Rose fan, man. Just like straight up, I'm not. But
no, she doubts herself every fucking inch of the way.
It's
who
very
the hell
dramatic.
wants to watch somebody that's like on the fucking verge of like putting themselves
of a
in
mental breakdown every
psychiatric
time.
ward? Like, dude, you fucking fight. Like, I know it's wrong to say, but man, the fuck up already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are fighting. Sure. What are you coming in there with negative vibes for?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, let's get after it.
No, I agree with you. That's why I'm not a big Rose fan, man. Like, you're too over dramatic. You're in the fight game, baby. Like, do your thing. Do your fucking thing, man. Like, we don't want to hear like. When she lost her shit because Connor threw the whole fucking cart at the bus situation, she just lost.
Her and Kiesa should have went on a honeymoon together.
Oh my god, dude! We don't want to go down that rabbit hole. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. We haven't even got to the main event yet, so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But
before we go to the main event,
but JJ does offer a lot, but the problem is, man, like when I watch her throw her combinations, though, as beautiful as they are, she'll throw 5 punches straight. She
needs to move left, right.
With Zhang, she's gonna need to move left and right because
she's got to cut the ring off.
Yeah, just like with Valentina, Zhang's gonna be a good counterpuncher, and she needs to move left and right. She needs to cut that ring off.
No, she'll get caught.
She needs to get out of that set. Yeah,
if she doesn't fucking move, she could get caught. But for me. My downfall, I as a big Joanna fan, I've been looking down every avenue to get the fans or other professionals bids, and I was listening to Bad Guys by Chanel Sonnen, and he said to build on what you said and also to push back on it, China has government Olympic officials weighing in on Weili Zhang's fucking thing.
Yep.
Now my thing, that's great because you know what, you have these elite judges calling you out, pressurizing you to push and push and push forth to do better, to be better. That's a lot. You got something to fucking prove, not to yourself, but to a country. That's a big fucking weight on you that you need to live up to. And I don't ever think that having to live up to something like that is going to weigh down on you. It's going to make you that much better. But one thing for me is I'm a firm believer in, and I think it's a demise to many fighters. If it ain't fucking broke, don't fix it. Her having to fucking train with Duke Rufus, I mean, yeah, he said he's going to sit in the background,
Duke's
but
the man.
She's changing things. And she's had to go from, because of the coronavirus, and I won't go down a beaten path, she's had to go from China to Thailand to Abu Dhabi. That in the middle of a fucking camp is a lot.
That is.
On top of the pressure of her entire fucking country behind her. That's a lot mentally, physically. And now you're going to come out to Vegas and the altitudes and everything. It's going to have a fucking effect on you. Joanna, she's been in the past couple of camps with ATT. She's done fucking phenomenal. Even against Rose. She's done fucking phenomenal once she figured out what her eating regimen needed to be, which she now owns on her own. I think that's going to possibly weigh big on her with all the hiccups that she's had going through her camp. JJ, calm, focused. I follow her on Instagram. She's ready to fucking go.
The only thing is, like, Zhang might take it a little personally because JJ did have a little hiccup. She did have a little social media hiccup lately. You know which one I'm
brought that to
talking
my
about?
attention.
The gas mask. She wore the gas mask thing.
Yeah, that may be
kind of alluding to the coronavirus. I think that's a little fucked up. Just like, man, like I have a good sense of humor and shit too, but I mean, come on, man.
No, it wasn't cool.
It's very current, man.
It's not
People
cool,
are still dying about that,
Ryan,
dying for that shit, and it's
at the
spreading
end
like
of the day,
fucking wildfire. What? Go ahead.
At the end of the day, you fucking know better than anybody else. What is a factor in a win or a loss? Can I get into your fucking mentality and fucking scramble your nerves? Yeah. Joanna is infamous for that. What she did was too much, but you want to know what? You can't be mad at her. She fucking always does it.
She's not Conor McGregor, though. She can't knock you out with a left hook when you come rushing in. You know what I mean?
But
like,
it doesn't matter, man.
When
It
you're
throws
Jose
you
Aldo
off.
and you come rushing in to bull rush her and throw that right hand, she was
proven wrong once, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this: what are keys to victory for Rose first?
Joanna or Weili?
Jesus Christ. For Joanna.
Here, I'm going to put this down.
Yeah.
No wonder why they're not fucking...
For JJ.
marketing us. I think the keys for JJ, I don't know because she puts her cardiovascular training on the internet, but not actually her sparring, which I wish I could watch.
Nobody ever puts their sparring.
They should put some of it.
Nobody. No, they're
For
not
me,
going to.
I think it is continue down the game plan of what you always have, but move left or right, whatever it is, to avoid the counter. Do I think there needs to be a ground game put in this? Could be. Do I want to see it? Absolutely fucking not. And I think if Joanna can move to the left or right and continue on the pace, she's gonna outclass Weili. Mm-hmm. For Weili, I think what needs to happen is she needs to take Joanna down, which almost nobody fucking can, because she just moves too much, and she has a great takedown defense. She absolutely does.
Oh, great.
So I think Weili needs to just either knock her the fuck out, get her to the ground, or she's gonna lose the fucking fight. And I think we'll all be able to tell that after round 3. Because championship rounds are always Joanna and Jedrzejczyk. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a finish if she gets out of round 3.
What's Zhang's keys to victory?
Taking her down is one. And if Joanna stays, as she always does, just walking down that center line, she's going to get countered. Mm-hmm. Weili is known for her counters, and I think that's what's going to be her key to victory. Let alone the fact that she has so much fucking pressure behind her. I think those are the two factors. But let's take it to the next step. I'm calling it Joanna. I am hoping in fashion she finishes this fight in round 4 just from gassing her. So I'm calling it round 4. And then, I told you this last week. I'm going to do it again this week. For the championship fights, I would like to call next opponents. I think from the Rose, Jessica Andrade, I think they should get next fight. Who I would really like to see fucking fight. The champion is, what's her name? That submission specialist. What's her name? She's in that same division. Oh, fuck. Help me out here, brother. She's a submission specialist. Mexican, but from the States. What's her name? Bear with us, Kaz MMA fans.
I'm looking it up right now at that division.
Rankings. Here we go.
Oh, you mean Tatiana?
I would like to see Tatiana get the shot next. I don't think she will. I think Andrade.
I don't know if Tatiana's ready, though.
I think Andrade and Rose will get the fight next for the belt. But Tatiana, nobody's going to fuck with that bitch. I would vote against Joanna all day. But Andrade or Rose for the belt after this, I'm calling Rose.
Tatiana's the future of the division, but I don't know if she's ready yet.
I think she's ready.
I don't think so. I watched her. She's super, super, super one-dimensional. She needs to develop her stand-up game.
Oh, she has no stand-up, but nobody can defend her takedowns.
Yeah, but that's the problem, though, is if someone does, she's fucked. She's fucked.
I think she's got some power behind her hands.
But that's actually a good call, though. I mean, I like that.
Joanna, round 4, I think it's going to be a stoppage. I don't think Weili's going to have the energy to go. And I'm calling the next fight for her. It's going to be either Rose or Andrade. And I'm not calling that fight till it comes. But I'm calling Joanna, not just because I love her. I think that after her separation from being cheated on during the Rose fights, I think after her worry of her eating habits and being able to cut weight to losing the second fight, I think she's completely rejuvenated and she's ready to fucking take back the belt and represent. I don't got a lot of faith in Weili. She won one fight. It was a fucking fluke for me.
Well, technically, she's won like 19
yeah,
fights.
But
yeah.
For me, Joanna outclasses everybody. I don't ever see there being a fight. She got knocked out, and
she only lost one fight. If you hear the barking in the background, that's our third guest. It's Bear.
The Bear.
Yeah, the Bear.
She loves me, by the way.
He will not stop right now. What is up with him? Keys to victory for JJ to me. Push the pace. Finisher. She needs to put, or not finish her. She needs to push the pace. To your point, she needs to stick and move. That's what I would like to see from JJ. Keys to victory for Zhang to me is if she's not winning the stand up, I want to see her start grappling a lot. I want to see her start pressing JJ and start testing that strength, start testing that takedown ability right there. Hold on, let me see what's going on.
So what are we calling?
All right, there we go. I'm gonna call I'm going with Zhang, man. I'm going with Zhang for the decision. I think she's going to hold. I think what's going to happen is she's going to outstrike JJ for rounds 1 and 2. And then I think JJ is going to pick it up in 3. Zhang's going to take her down for 4 and 5. She's going to pin her up for 4 and 5.
Complete upset. I never want to see a fight that somebody just tries to rack up the points.
Well, but here's the thing, though, man. Like, to me, there's there's a difference between grappling for points and then there's a difference between grappling for to win. But I think JJ's just too tough to put out. I think Rose obviously caught her in that first fight, but I think that
there's a lot more weighing into that.
Yeah. I think JJ's just too tough to put out. So I think it could be a fun fucking fight in that regard. But I think
in addition, both Rogan and Angela Hill on the Rogan Experience called Joanna in that fight.
Did they for real? Well, I know Joe. Joe's like me, man. He likes the stand-up fighters because he comes from a taekwondo.
But even Angela Hill called it, and she comes from a Muay Thai background.
Yeah, that's why stand-up background.
She thinks that Joanna is going to be able to outpace her. They haven't seen her go to championship rounds, and like you said, all day, baby. Championship rounds are Joanna's. I'm sorry.
Zhang's gonna bang, baby. That's what it is.
Let's
go.
What it
is. All right. Do you have the odds up for this one right now?
Yeah. So I already called it. Joanna's at a plus 135. Whaley's at a minus 175 betting favorite.
Razor thin.
I didn't do Bovado. I think it was like 1 over, but same shit.
Here, let me see what Bovado says because that's the quality. That's the quality site.
Relax.
Minus 170 plus 120. I think that's the same exact one. Isn't that the same thing?
A little bit off.
Yeah. But
mine's better.
Well, no. But I mean, Bovada's clearly the premium betting
so
line.
You say. Fighting fans, weigh in. If you got better ones, let us fucking know, along with calling us out on who.
No,
who
get the fuck out of here. I'll tell you something right now. I paid for my college school bucks one semester because I was betting on Bovada, so they my people.
Right, so then maybe that's the truth, then, guys. Fuck you guys and your answers.
I'm not getting spot. Yeah, for sure. All right. Anyways, man, fuck that. I think, the co-main event and main event are gonna be insane. This main event, I am super pumped to fucking call. What are your thoughts? Actually, lead us into it real quick.
Honestly,
wait. Fuck you. I'm going to lead us into it.
About fucking time, man. I'm sweating over here.
Coming into the main event, we have...
I was waiting for it.
Israel Adesanya versus the Cuban. Oh my God. Hold on. Sorry.
Where's Sean, boy? I need the boy right now. Sean, you're fucking me up today, man.
Sorry,
I'm gonna get you, boy.
I'm gonna get you, boy, or I'm gonna get you, friend. I forgot how he says that shit, but versus Yoel Romero, my dude from Cuba. Fuck, man, I'm so fucking excited for this fight. Yoel Romero already won round 1. He did the backflip when they were doing the dance off. When they were doing the dance off at the weigh-in or at the press conference, you were like, "Oh, okay, Adesanya, we know he's got moves. He was dancing into his last fight." But then Yoel went and did the backflip, and you're like, "Oh shit, that motherfucking 43-year-old fucking Olympic athlete just did a fucking backflip on the stage
didn't need much
in
space.
In jeans, dude. He's fucking huge. I fucking love that man. He's literally like
I can't even roll in fucking jeans, let alone do a backflip in the motherfuckers.
The mother, he just fucking he was like fuck you. He saw Israel like doing his thing. If you haven't watched the video, just go back and watch the video. They both start Israel starts dancing on the stage, and then Yoel's like, no, this ain't happening. I'm from Cuba, baby. You ain't gonna fucking diss my country. So he's like dancing, and then all son he comes out.
No, but the best part of it is you zoom in on Dana White's fucking face.
He didn't even know what to do. He was like, where do I put my hands? I don't know what to, separate. I don't know. I never.
That shit was fucking.
He's epic. I've never monitored a dance battle before. Just separate. He was smiling. He didn't even know what to do with his hands. He was just
maybe we should bring in that one guy. What the fuck?
He was just like the awkward white guy from up north. He just put his hands to his side. I don't know what to do with myself, so I'm just gonna smile.
They should bring in Shannon Tatum to give the belt for this one. Dance up, niggas.
Bring in the step up, dude.
They brought the Rocket for baddest motherfucker. They should bring in Shannon Tatum for this one. Whoever's got the best dance moves wins this motherfucker.
They should bring in
which one?
What's the rapper that you were talking about earlier?
Pitbull?
Pitbull. They should bring in Pitbull. 305, baby. He makes all that dance music. He should fucking bring.
If they brought in Pitbull, Yoel Romero is definitely going to win, man. He got 305 behind him. It's a rat.
Oh, these guys are so crazy, man. I can't wait. These guys have been talking shit.
What are the Bovado?
Oh, the premium service. What is their betting lines on this one? Let's check it out.
I don't want to call mine. I may be wrong. It's not Bovado.
Actually, this is probably the biggest split between the two. I know Romero's the plus 200 to Adesanya's minus 260. Actually, this is the biggest odds that we have. Minus 260 to plus 200.
You see that?
What?
I got Israel at minus 185 and Romero at plus 145.
Damn, that's a lot closer. Well, granted, this might have been from last week when we were shooting.
Oh, all right.
Do you have MMA? Here, hold on.
Well, I had it. I was on the same site as you, but I was. I told you I was like 2 or 3 links in columns over on the stats, and wow. But let's see what it is this week. It may have
I want to check it real quick because I've told you this.
A wide fucking spread for who's going to be winning this fight. I mean, either which way, I think it's going to be a fucking absolute.
Yeah, Bovada still has it. Minus 270 for Israel and Yoel's plus 210. Dude, look, everybody has that. Look at that. I'm looking at 5 Dimes. I'm looking at Bookmaker, Sports Bet. They all have it.
I'm not going to argue it, man. I think it's going to be a complete.
You can't argue
domination.
It's on there.
I don't think there's going to be no Chris Weidman knee. I don't think there's going to be a fucking Rob Whittaker, haymaker coming in here. I think since Israel Adesanya's first knockout loss, he has just been on an absolute precision tear. Not just a fucking roaring tear. Like, he is crisp with everything. I mean, even in the Gastelum fight, every hit that he threw was shaking, breathtaking. He took a beating because he wanted to go in for the kill. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I think he needed to work on from that fight, which I think he did with Robert Whittaker, because Robert Whittaker threw some fucking crazy shots, is knowing how to move in faster and move out faster.
I'm going to be candid. I think I've said this during that fight, too. I think he underestimated Kelvin.
Oh, for sure. I mean, most fighters have that in their careers.
Kelvin's
I'm just going to go in there, like, I'm going to smoke weed before the fight. I'm going to do some coke last week. Probably go to a club. I think he did that for this fight.
You're just referencing John Jones. You're not talking about anybody else. You're just talking about John Jones.
Hey, man. Mike Tyson, I was watching it. He's he did everything from A to Z and then walked into the ring and knocked motherfuckers out in like 28 seconds.
No, but Israel, I mean, if you think about that, Israel's 6'3" to Kelvin's 5'9". I think he underestimated Kelvin's boxing ability. Which, to be honest, I probably would have too.
But he didn't shake him, though. He didn't shake him. He caught him, but he didn't shake him.
No, for sure. But I think the thing is here that you're not going to see Israel overestimate or underestimate Yoel.
No, he'll put you to fucking. How do you say it? The night what? What do you say?
He gonna put you night, motherfucker. He gonna put you night.
Yeah, so I wouldn't underestimate him either because that's definitely Yoel right there. But honestly, for me. All day, said it last week, I'll say it again this week, even though you fucked up last week. Yoel Romero is a fucking gangster. No, I'm sorry. Israel Adesanya is a fucking gangster.
Yoel's a fucking gangster, dude.
He is, but in the last fight with Paulo Costa, in the fights with
Paulo should have lost.
In the fights with Robert Whittaker, he just didn't go that extra mile.
Yes, he did.
I don't think he did.
He brutalized Whittaker. That's why Whittaker will never be the same.
No, he did, and you saw it.
Absolutely brutalized.
You know what?
Whittaker.
He could have won further.
You could argue that he tied the first one and won the second one.
Paulo Costa in his fight, they went bang for bang, but Paulo Costa was just fucking ripping him the fuck apart.
No, it wasn't.
I think he was.
He landed maybe some bigger shots. But
bigger shots. That counts.
But yeah, it counts, but not when you land the volume of shots. And Paulo, you wanted to go back to the whole fucking owning the ring bullshit. Yoel stood in the middle of the fucking ring and let Paulo come in. And he banged with him.
Yeah, but guess what? That was stupid. He should have worked the outside and took him apart with his fucking shots, and he didn't. He took there, and he got fucking pressured, and he got banged, and he lost the fucking fight.
He shouldn't have, though.
No, he shouldn't
won
have.
That fight.
I think Yoel should have fought a fight like he did Whitaker.
He did. He fought the same exact fight.
No, he came for me, I think he came forward way more in the fight against Paulo Costa than he did with Whitaker. I think he came too forward, and he ate some big fucking shots that cost him that fight.
Nah.
And I felt a lot of the time between him and Paulo Costa fight, they did a lot of fucking dancing. I think they wasted a lot of seconds, maybe even minutes in that fucking fight.
Because Paulo felt
thinking about, like, is my fucking shot going to outweigh you or put you out? And it wasted a lot of good time in that fucking fight.
Yeah.
With the Robert Whitaker, the only reason that I may agree with you a little bit that he beat Whitaker is he caught Whitaker with a lot better precision hits than he did Paulo Costa. But either which way, I think he was outclassed.
That's because Whitaker is a volume puncher.
Yeah, but Whitaker, I mean, either which way, I don't think Yoel won either one of those fights. Sorry.
Yeah, he did.
Put it on the fucking podcast. If you want the truth.
Did. I just said it. I said it's a microphone. It's recording.
I'm saying that call us out on it. You
Still
know
recording.
Not even just the fights that we're calling. If there's anything you have a fucking opinion about, put it out there. We're more than happy to go back and forth with the fans as we do ourselves. I mean, if you're cool with it, I don't want to be narrating your show, but I'm more than up for a fucking argument about anything we brought up today. It just makes it entertaining.
Yeah, because he should have won that second fight.
You know what? It's you and then
all right, but let's get into this specific fight. Let me tell you what's going to happen. I think Adesanya is going to win.
Like decision win or like a upset win? Like what the fuck, Ryan? Come on.
I would like to say he's going to finish it, but I think Yoel's so tough, man, that he's just going to tough it out for 5 rounds.
5 rounds? You really think they're going to go fucking 5 rounds?
Yoel's done it a shitload of fucking times. Adesanya's going to do it too. Because the thing is, Yoel at 43 years old, as dope as he fucking is, as great as an athlete as he is, he's 43, not 34. And I think
but when did he get his career started? Like 36, 37?
But that doesn't even matter at this point. He's 43. His fight style now is just, it's so like he does the whole high guard. He'll stand in the middle and take a shitload of shots, and I think Adesanya is going to be smart enough where he's not going to over pursue.
He's going to pick his shots.
He's going to pick his shots. He's going to move around the outside. Yoel's going to stand in the middle and just take a fuckload of fucking shots, and he's going to get tagged the fuck up. I think he's going to get tagged the fuck up for probably 5 rounds.
Honestly?
And it's going to go to decision. Adesanya's going to win. Maintain the belt.
In the decision.
What?
That's what you're calling Israel?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 5. That's what I'm saying. 5 rounds, Adesanya's going to take the decision. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. But I think Adesanya's going to pick his shots. He's going to be smart. He's going to stay along the outside. He's going to stick and move. And Yoel's going to stand in the middle waiting for that right-hand shot that's never going to come. Maybe he'll tag Adesanya a few times. Adesanya's going to be able to take those, keep moving, stick and move. 5 rounds. He's going to win. Decision.
What I would like to see and what I think is going to happen is when you said it, Yoel comes in and for some reason he does this weird stance where he puts his hands up, leaves his body and his legs open. Mm-hmm. I would love to see an Anderson Silva toe-to-the-face fucking finish. But I think because he does that so frequently, not infrequently between rounds, because he always figures that he can take that power hit, that he's going to get fucking rocked. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a straight punch or a fucking kick coming around, I feel like his defense is going to be broken by one of those hits, and he's going to wobble, he's going to drop his hands, and he's going to get lit up to the point where he can't take it. I'm calling a 3rd round fucking finish by Israel. I just think that he has the power. I think he has the height.
He doesn't have the power.
He has the precision. I think he does.
He has the precision and he has the height.
I think he has the power.
He doesn't have power.
Like straight up fucking like He-Man.
He knocks people out by volume, not by one punch knockout power.
I mean, hey man, look at that Whitaker fight.
By volume.
That was power. By
volume. It was power by volume.
Let's agree to disagree on this.
No, there is no disagreeing on this one. He hit him by volume.
This fight,
He wore Whitaker down, and then Whitaker took too many shots, and then eventually he went down by too many shots.
Well, I'm gonna leave up our argument with Sean. I'll text him later, see what he says.
Sean's gonna say fuck you. I don't give a fuck what Sean says.
I'm phoning a friend here. But Honestly, I think this is going to be a great fucking card. Any one of these fights are going to be performance of the night, fight of the night. I'm weighing on the top, the first 3 fights to really fucking get everybody up and roaring. I think Weili and Joanna is going to be a back and forth. I don't know. After the first round, I will make my decision if Israel respects Yoel. If after the first round I see that he doesn't, third round finish all day. But if he does, it may end up as Ryan called it. But the first 3 fights, do not bat an eyelash. Do not be driving to the fucking bar. Get there at 9:50 and ready to fucking go.
You should have Joe Rogan's job. You do a great job. You do a great fucking job of like, get fucking there, watch the UFC every day, all day.
You don't want to miss it, man.
No, you don't. I mean, to me, I think
just so we can make
good.
fun of you or be made fun of by you in our calls.
And again, like, I'm usually a big proponent of watching the early, like, I'll watch the early prelims and the prelims on this one. That's why I got a tablet now, so I can sit there and watch. I'll watch all of them on here, but like, there's like really no big prospects that I saw on here that I'm like, yeah, you need to fucking watch this guy.
Just Sean O'Malley.
Other than Sean O'Malley, obviously.
and you typically don't do that.
No,
talk about the prelim. But Sean O'Malley's worth talking about.
Well, Sean and I used to break down every prelim. We used to say, hey, this is what you need to watch. You need to watch this, this, and this, but it's just too much.
Yeah, we'll leave that to Dana White.
Yeah, right. We'll get them to sell the card. I think we already talked too much as it is, just about the first 5 fucking.
No, not even that. Deontay Wilder, the fucking judges, the pay. I mean, we went in today, so
yeah, that's for sure. Well, we did last week too before this, so. So your final call on this main event fight?
Oh, you know what? I fucking left it out. So I'm calling a 3rd round finish. And who I would like to see go. I mean, obviously Paulo is going to get the next fight. But who I would like to see after that, I just heard it called, is the Weidman-Hermanson fight. I know, Ryan, you don't like Hermanson. But I think he's got something to prove, and I think if he can fucking finish Weidman, I think he should get his next fucking belt fight.
Oh, no.
I mean, Reyes knocked out fucking Weidman and fucking got his fight, so I think if Hermanson can knock out Weidman or get like a devastating fucking decision win,
for sure.
I think he should be up next after Paulo. But Paulo's definitely the next contender if he
Paulo
gets well.
100% should get the next. It doesn't matter who wins. He gets the next fight. Hermanson's awkward enough, crazy enough. I'd like to definitely see him fight. Weidman definitely shouldn't get a fight if he wins, straight up.
He's done. Even though he's from Long Island, where I'm from.
Fuck.
I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I've never been a Weidman fan anyways. So, yeah, I think I already called this one too, man. I think Adesanya's going to win by 5th round decision. Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Yeah, there you go.
But, guys, casual MMA fans, thank you so much for having me on here. We're going to post up who we think wins the fights. Please call us out. Let us have an argument and be able to talk about it. In addition, Ryan, what was the guest gonna? Whoever ever made the best calls was gonna win what?
Oh, so just kind of going back to that. So I'm gonna get shirts made here soon. I'm gonna start getting some merchandise made for Casuals MMA. Just some fun stuff to have. And what we're gonna start doing is challenges on our Facebook page. We're gonna do polls. Whoever comes the closest to calling the main event. As close as possible, and I think in the final 2, the co-main and main event, since they're both title fights, what we'll do is we'll have the person that not only calls the winner but is closest to calling how that person won. They're gonna get the first Casual MMA shirt.
And I think you said you're also gonna change that. I mean, not every other fight, but I think as you progress through 2020, merchandise is going to change or evolve or whatever. I think you mentioned.
I don't know what we're
depending, right?
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. I know at first we're gonna have some nice shirts made. I love our logo personally. I love the color in our logo, so I'm gonna get a few of those made. Maybe keychains and stuff like that. Maybe some cups. So kind of like these Tervis tumblers if you're watching the video. I'm gonna get some of that stuff made, so we'll kind of do that as we go. And the other thing too is, man, if we have anybody that wants to be a guest and you're not local to us because we're in Lee County, Southwest Florida. We want guests, man. Like, so if you can call in, if you have an hour or two on a Sunday to call in and have this discussion,
jump in, right?
The
Can
week
they jump
or
in?
2 weeks before, you can absolutely jump in. You just have to message us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. Let us know. The whole point of the Casuals MMA is just like it's fans talking about. It's fans talking about the sport, man. We're super biased. That's the whole thing.
I'm not.
I'm direct. No, well, yeah, you're biased. You're biased towards JJ. You like your girl, right? Like,
yeah, you're right. I'm not open-minded.
well, no. I mean, like, my point is, like, when you watch some of these other guys that, to me, one, it's weird that you have guys on ESPN and Fox Sports that are calling the events and they train with half the fucking guys. Like, they're not going to call against a guy that they train against. You know what I mean? Like, they might have the insights and all that stuff into, like, the camp situations and all that shit. But, like, they're not going to call against their own guys, man. We're here. We're gonna say it how it is. We think what we think. We're just here to have fun. We're here to have a conversation. I do try and look at this from an unbiased perspective when I'm watching the actual MMA fights. But, you do have your favorites, man. Like, that's just what it is, and that's why we're the Casuals MMA. We're here to have fun, man. Yeah. So, if anybody wants to join us, just message us. We're on just about, I think, every social media page. You can message us on our YouTube, Twitch,
If you have any recommendations, let us know.
Whatever, baby. Let me know. That's all I need.
And if you don't fucking know, now you know, and share us. Because we want everybody to be able to participate. We want to be heard. We have a lot of fucking fun. We want everybody else to have fun.
But my point was, if you're not here, we do call-ins. We have the capability. You can come in, you can call in, you can video conference in.
Fly in, fuck it.
Yeah, let me tell you what.
Ryan's open to it.
I'm going to 100%.
You can stay here. He's got an open room, everything.
I am not going to pay for your plane ticket.
I didn't say that, but they have a room to stay in,
You do not have a room to stay in. I promise you that, too.
All right, well, maybe at my house. You can sleep with one of my 5 kids. We'll be fine.
Yeah. No, don't do that either. I'm protecting your children. Yeah. No, but you can call in, conference in, whatever, man. That's what it is. 2020 is about having guests on every week. We're just having fun, man. We're having fun this year. So
yeah, maybe here I may be like week after week, but I may be here maybe 45 weeks out of the 52. Just
Dan's like, yeah, I'm gonna be here a lot. No, but thanks, man. Thanks for joining us. You're our second guest, man. We've had 2 events that we've called for 2020. We missed one. It's been crazy, but anyways, we missed one. So you're our second guest. It's been a ton of fun having guests. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you for listening. Enjoy the event March 7th at the T-Mobile Arena. This is gonna be a crazy card, man. Ton of fun. Any closing comments, Dan?
No, I'm just excited to be here. I want to come back and look for me on the fucking post fight.
Yeah. Yes, and that's the other thing too. Remember, everybody, we're gonna have a post fight. We'll see you the Sunday after. That'll probably be posted up by Monday 7th, 8th, and so that'll be posted by Monday the 9th. We'll have the follow up fights.
I'll be in a good mood that day.
When JJ loses, I doubt that. But no,
you just fucking had to.
Everybody, enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for listening, as always, especially if you made it the whole time. Love you as always. Please share and spread some love, and we'll talk to you on the 9th.
Peace. I think it recorded the whole time.